Hello, hello, my beautiful sacred feminines, and anybody else who happens to be watching, who happens to find this, stumble across this. Yeah, happy day to you, and happy full moon in Virgo to you right now. That's when I'm recording this. I probably won't get it posted until tomorrow, but tomorrow I will be traveling. I'll be on the road. I live in my converted shuttle bus, so tomorrow, I've been in Death Valley for like 2.5 weeks now, so tomorrow I'm going to be heading south a bit to Joshua Tree. So I'm recording this a day early just so I can make sure it's posted. I'm doing my damnedest to stay consistent, you know. I think that is important when we can. Of course, life happens, but you know, it just kind of keeps us not in a rut, not like hardcore, but you know, consistency just kind of builds a positive momentum, you know, and when we're trying to move in a certain direction. I love putting these out, and it's nice that you can depend on them on a certain day to come up for you. So if you're digging it, if you're here, I'm grateful that you are. Usually I have a topic. You know, I guess what's been up for me right now, the astrology's been really freaking interesting and really powerful. Wow! I was trying to set something on the counter. It wanted to go down. Venus and Mars have been in their conjunction. They do this every few years, apparently. And the last couple of years ago, they were together for almost 3 weeks. That's amazing. The astrologer I listened to the most said that's pretty rare. So this time they're just together for a couple of days. So since I am all about supporting our healthy feminine and masculine balance, harmony, and union between the two energies, you know, this feels like a really powerful energy for me to get very conscious and still and go into that, because we're ending one cycle of their trip around the sun together. Not necessarily together, but they've gone around and now they've come back and they've met together. What wisdom did they glean? What lessons did they learn? What did they move through? And now they come together to end that cycle and start a new one. And so it's an excellent time to be setting intentions if you have not done so yet. This is a great time. It's not too late. They're still conjunct by the time this comes out. They'll be splitting apart here shortly. But really, and it's kind of lighting up my chart, particularly if you have planets or points from 0 to 8 degrees of, oh gosh, I know it's like the water signs or the cardinal signs or the air signs, but I have my Pluto at 8 degrees, so they're gonna connect with Pluto here like maybe tomorrow, so that will trine it, which is, I feel like it's gonna be a real big opening. And they've connected with my Mars, and they've also connected with my Neptune, so, or will be at 8 degrees. And so it's really kind of touching a couple of points for me. So again, this is why we watch the astrology, so we know when something is happening for us specifically and when kind of an energy is up for us, so then we can harness it, set intentions around it, and kind of look at it and like, how is this showing up for me? You know, how is the masculine and feminine energy showing up for me? What has transpired over the past 2 years, and what do I want to set in place as we move forward? What are the intentions as we move forward, especially given that it's connecting with some really big key players for me. I wonder where it's lighting your chart up, what's it connecting with, and maybe nothing particular, but still excellent time to set intentions. So I feel like, especially since it's in Aquarius, a lot of brand new fresh energies. A lot of the old ways of doing relationship, the old ways of doing feminine and masculine are just done and over with, and we recognize that. A lot of the codependency, the wounded feminine, wounded masculine, toxic masculine crap, that's just, you know, we're elevating out of that, and the frequencies just aren't a match anymore. So things are just kind of falling away, and we're just like, whoa, you know, things we didn't even know were ready to go or needed to go. So it's coming up for us as it goes away. So you might be bumping up against a lot of your stuff. You might be seeing some patterns and habits that are just ready to go, and you might be just feeling a lot of intense energies. There's Chiron and the North Node were just conjunct, and that's, connecting with the wound and releasing around that as well. And now we have a full moon in Virgo today, so there's just a lot of big energies and solar flares. Like, oh my gosh, so we don't know whether we're coming or going. It's been a real heightened energy for me, and very sensual, very, very, very sexy. As I come into more of my sacred feminine, I get more in touch with my sexuality and my sensuality. And that's been a lifelong journey for me, but it continues to open up the more that I let go, and the more of these old structures fall away, the more I get down into the truth of it. And so just really, and just really feeling confident. If you watch the last video, you'll know, that I've just been kind of moving through more of this, and it's I feel like that's a big piece of the spiritual journey. It's undoing, so we get down to the core of who we are, the truth of who we are, which is ultimately love and source. But we have all this stuff we're carrying around, which is part of the 3D world. It's part of the human experience. So, and then it's like a game, we come in with all this stuff, and then we unpack it and go through and clear it out and discover, like, who are we underneath all that stuff. So it's a beautiful and frightening and exhausting and liberating, exciting process. It's really all the things. That's what the human experience is. It's all these emotions. It's all these ups and downs and in-betweens and sideways and whoa, I didn't see that coming, and like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and what the fuck, it's everything. It's really freaking everything. So what I think a lot of us have learned to do is just kind of hold on for the ride, especially over these past few years, since 2020 hit, when the big conjunction between Pluto and Saturn just was like rocking our world. Like, oh, actually, we're doing this now. So I think we've all gotten a lot better at navigating. Those of us that are really on a spiritual path and that have been doing it, we have a lot of the tools, and this is not our first rodeo, maybe into this extreme, sure, but we've been doing this. Like, I've been on a path for, almost a few decades now at this point, shoot. So I feel pretty equipped and ready. Some people aren't, this is all kind of new to them, and they're in need of those tools. They're just like, wow, how do I navigate this? How do I navigate these really huge energies that are happening right now? So, and if that's where you find yourself, feel free to reach out, check out my website. I have a lot of resources on there, and I offer sessions, guidance sessions, programs, energy healing sessions, all sorts of stuff to support you, because again, I have been doing this for a long time, and with that comes a lot of wisdom and a lot of skills. So and I'm so grateful to be able to support others that are getting started, or that are just in need of some guidance and support. We are all just walking each other home. That's my favorite quote from Ram Dass, and that's what we're doing. We're here to support each other, and those that come before us, we all look to teachers, right? I have plenty of teachers along my way that I've learned from, and I continue to learn from. It's an ongoing evolution. It's an ongoing journey. So always excited to learn more, always excited to expand my consciousness, always excited to continue that releasing of that which no longer serves. And as our consciousness continues to elevate, more and more stuff from previous doesn't serve. So it's just kind of falling away, because it's not a frequency match. As we elevate, the normal things that we were vibing with just simply don't vibe, and that could be our own stuff, our own patterns. It could be relationships. It could be jobs and careers. It could be geographies and locations. It could be friendships and activities. I mean, there's so much. Like, maybe the music you used to listen to is just like, it's just not, it's not a match anymore. So, it can be as simple as that, but it can be bigger things, like that big relationship just isn't a match anymore. Y'all aren't going on the same path. Y'all are splitting away. So it's all over the place. But we need support as we move through this. And so let's care for each other and support each other and help each other on this journey. I think that's beautiful. The further I go along on my journey, the more my heart opens, and the more I just really want to, just be of service and support us all, and help us all get to the other side. Yeah, so I guess given that, let's go to the cards for some wisdom and see what they have to say, how they can help support us all on our journey, wherever we might happen to be at, wherever the turn of the spiral is for us. It's going up, and we might be reconnecting with some of those old wounds. Again, there's that Chiron and North Node conjunction. We might be bumping up against some things again. It's just like, fuck, I thought I was done with this. Well, I thought I had this. I thought we were over this, and here comes, it's just like, actually, there's a little bit more to clear out there. Or actually, you didn't really do this. You kind of avoided it. So now it's in your face. So, or actually, you rocked that out and we're done. That's out. Let's move on to some new energies. That's where I was out in the desert today, just, doing my meditation, my practice, and just connecting, with the earth and all my spirit guides and such. And it's just like, and especially around this, the Venus and Mars thing, because, my beloved and I have been together for 4.5 years now, and really moving through, that's 4.5 years. We got together right before that Pluto-Saturn conjunction, and we got together very intentionally and consciously to move through the wounded feminine and wounded masculine energies that we knew we were rocking out. We inherited from our families, from societies, from, all the systems that we've grown up in, and ancestral, intergenerational trauma, and all our own trauma that we came in, or that we accrued through this lifetime. So we were both on a spiritual path, and when we came together, we're just like, let's move through this. Let's clear this shit. Let's get very conscious and intentional about what is not serving us, and what isn't, what energies are just ready to go, what patterns, really like kind of doing the work for the family, like the buck stops here. And I think that's why a lot of people are on the planet right now, kind of we're the ones that are just like, if you're on this path, and you might be that black sheep of the family, you might be the odd one out, you might be the one that's always on the fringes and just doing it differently. I think some of us are here to very intentionally like filter out and clear out and do a different way, so that energy, those patterns can't move forward. So we tend to do this work on our own, without a lot of support, because it's not why everybody came here. So we very consciously have been, moving through this, and that has proven to be pretty freaking challenging. This is some old, heavy, deep, dark shit that we've been rocking out, and that our families have been rocking out, that we just learned so well some of those patterns from watching our family and growing up in the family. I mean, we totally embodied them and imbued them, and are just like, they've been unconscious, a lot of it very unconscious, until we, very consciously been, trying to work with them and clear them and move through them and find new ways and do it differently. So when the Mars and Venus come together, that's a really important time for me on my own personal journey and in my relationship, to just be like, okay, what have we learned over the past 2 years, and where are we ready to like really like release some shit and do it differently? What's up right now? And part of what I was saying today is just like, in my prayers and my intentions out in the desert, it's just like, could we just be fucking done with some of this? I mean, like, really, we have a lot of energy, we have a lot of passion, we have a lot of dreams and desires and goals and ways we want to move forward and be in our lives, and some of this just really gets old. It's like, can we just be over? I would love to take my energy and put it into something a little more beneficial, perhaps. Like, I spent the first half of my life kind of, cleaning up some shit. Now let's move on to the next phase. Let's start having a little bit more fun. I get that there's going to be challenges. I get the human journey comes with some stuff, and there's energies, but how long do we have to keep spinning out in the same fucking shit? Excuse me, but really, I mean, so that's what I was saying with my guides. Like, come on, a boon here. Let's level up, quantum leap this shit. Let's timeline jump. Let's just I'm over it. I'm done. Let's go. Let's move on to some new energies and frequencies and adventures. So so that's part of what I was studying today. And we're both very passionate about supporting the collective and moving forward in new ways of doing relationship too, and getting more conscious of their patterns. So, you know, in order to do that, I don't want to be still stuck in the patterns. It's like, let me put my energy over here. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. How strong is my magic? But that's what I'm doing with this beautiful energy and this new yeah, let's step into the empowered. You know, I know what the wounded looks like. And, you know, let's be more in the empowered, in the love and the joy and the giving and the receiving and the beautiful, beautiful connection between the masculine and feminine. It's just so freaking gorgeous. You know, it's just so gorgeous, and move out of the challenge of bringing that together so much that our collective's been rocking out for a long time. Like, yeah, we're ready to level up. So anyway, I don't know why I got off on that little thing there, but anyway, just yeah, yeah. So wondering where you're at in your adventure with your relationships, with your, you know, working with the feminine and masculine. And this is all internal as well. You know, this is, we need the balance and harmony and union within ourselves before we can have that really in our external relationships, right? We need that self-love and self-worth before we attract and rock that out in our external relationships. That's where the work comes in. That's where that inner, you know, introspection, self-reflection, meditation, all the practices, all the, you know, sound healing, energy healing, all the things, mantra, whatever it is, crystal therapy, you know, there's so many freaking tools now. Reiki, I mean, it's just, it's nuts how much, how many tools are at our disposal now, which is also a very clear sign that now is the time, right? Here's all the tools you need, go. So we've got the tools, we've got the support, we just have to do that ourselves. We have to pick up the tools and start doing them and start using them and be consistent. That's where we start off, with consistency, right? That's how we change the patterns. That's how we run a new energy. That's how we switch gears. You know, if we're just kind of dabbling every once in a while, oh, I'm going to do some energy healing, or oh, I'm going to do some meditation. It's just not enough to break the patterns. I'm sorry to say it. I freaking wish it was, because if it was, I'd be enlightened by now, because I'm very consistent with my practices and I recognize the importance of that. Luckily, I had an amazing women teacher who really just is like, it's got to be every day. You have to do a practice hour every day, just without fail. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that, because I wanted what she had. I wanted what she was promising on the other side. And you know, and I've gotten so much freedom and liberation from being consistent, and really putting in the time and the effort. That's how we change our patterns. That's how we drop it. So again, if y'all need support with that, please reach out, and I'm happy to do that. Or just find yourself some breathwork practice, meditation, something. Do it every freaking day. 10 minutes. Seriously, it'll start the momentum. It'll start the process. It'll start breaking the patterns down. It'll start something. And once you start seeing the benefits of it, if you haven't already done this, likely maybe you already are. So if you're into astrology and tarot and such, you know, wouldn't be surprised if you already have a lovely daily practice. But if you don't, and you're ready to like elevate and kick this into gear, we're so freaking supported right now. So this is an excellent time to get started. Or maybe you've got a practice, but you're just kind of maybe now's the time to polish it up. You know, let's do this thing, because we are really supported. And because the frequencies are elevating so fast right now, it doesn't take a lot on our part to move quickly right now, because it's just happening, you know? So let's work with it. Let's make the most of these energies and frequencies. And I'm going to stop talking right now. Look at that. The Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. It's a gorgeous new beginning, fresh energies. And Virgo full moon, the Pentacles is Earth. Virgo's Earth. What a beautiful, and look at that gateway there leading off into like some beautifulness. It's all lush and gorgeous. Excellent time, it looks like, for some new beginnings, starting some new projects, starting some new sense of self-worth. I've been feeling that lately when I get to the Earth cards. I feel like this self-worth piece. So That's lovely. All right. I did not sage us. Let me sage us. I love you all, and I'm so grateful for you being here. If you are here and you're watching this, I'm so thrilled because this really is wahoo. Ooh, okay. Thank you, fire spirits. This really is what it's all about for me. Connecting with y'all, talking about spiritual shit. I love it. Thank you, beautiful sage spirits. That wasn't a lot of sage, but whew, it's amazing. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay. Yay, it feels so good to be alive and in these bodies. Like, amazing, amazing, amazing. Also, Virgo is the mind-body connection. So I really, and that's the feminine and the masculine, you know. So that's part of how I've been connecting with this energy as well. Like, what are the elements in my world, in my experience, in our experience? Earth, sun. Today I was with I'm not going to get into that. I can go off on a lot of tangents here. But yeah, within, you know, again, that mind-body connection, sacred feminine, sacred masculine, how does it show up? How do we balance it? How do we bring it all together to work in this gorgeous, beautiful, coherent whole, you know, supporting each other, not too much masculine, not too much feminine, just in balance, where they support each other, and there's nourishment and sustainability and fulfillment, passion, creativity, inspiration, you know, it's all and strong in our bodies, very strong in our bodies. Virgo's much about health as well, and the daily routine. So excellent time to to get into that practice again, and do exercise practice. Anything we can get started today. I know it's not a new moon, but there's a lot of new fresh energies right now, so go for it. All right, thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Father Sun. Thank you to all of our spirit guides and helpers. Thank you to all the archangels we connect with. Thank you to any beings of high vibe that we connect with, anyone that supports us. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, plant spirits, stone spirits, crystal spirits, animal spirits. Did I say animal spirits? Thank you to all the beautiful sacred feminine and sacred masculine energies we connect with. Thank you, Kali Ma. Thank you, Ma Durga. Thank you, Goddess Lakshmi. Thank you, Lord Ganesha and Lord Shiva. Thank you, Lalita. Lilith, Hecate, Lady Isis, Mary Magdalene, Christ Consciousness. So many beautiful frequencies we get to connect with. It's just freaking amazing. And thank you all for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Praying for any support, any words of wisdom for this moment and the energies that we are moving through, because there are many right now. Any words of wisdom to support us on our journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Interesting. Okay, maybe take a couple more. Oh, that was a lot, actually. Not that many more. Gorgeous. All right. Okay, again, today we are using the, I really love this deck. It's the vintage, like vintage tarot cards from the Dark Forest. They're on Etsy. It's kind of this vintage look feel to it. So yeah, I'll try to remember to put that down below in the description. So we're starting off with beautiful, the Two of Wands. Dude's got the world in his hands, and there's a 2 I'm feeling sacred feminine and sacred masculine. There's the balance. He's right in the middle with the world. When we find that balance, the world is in our hands. The world is our oyster. And the wands are a spiritual growth and transformation card. It's the fire element. Really burning away that which doesn't serve, but also it's that creativity, it's that passion, it's that fire, it's that spark. So I love this. What a perfect card for this energy right now. Yes, there's just like so much yeah, he's just ready. He's yeah, the world in his hands. He's looking out. He's ready to go. And I feel like, yeah, there's definitely a balance there between the masculine and the feminine. He's right in the middle, that polar. So I'm feeling that also, that Sushumna Nadi, that central channel. There's the Ida and Pingala are the energies, the feminine and the masculine, solar and lunar, starting at the base of the spine that go up. It's like the Kundalini thing. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but if you're familiar with it, that's what I'm seeing right now. So I'm throwing it out there for those of you who are familiar. So yeah, that Sushumna Nadi, that channel, that rising, that spiritual growth and the consciousness, like ready to expand and go up. And yes, and that means the whole world is in our hands, and we can do whatever the heck we want when we come into that balance, and get very conscious about it. This is consciousness. You know, that the fire element is yeah, it is that transformation. And I'm feeling that as a real consciousness energy right now. Followed up by the Three of Swords, which is obviously looks like some heartache. So the way we can read this is something that's getting in the way of you being in balance, us getting in the way of us being in balance. Something that we're ruminating from the past, or maybe right now, something it's time to let go of. That's, you know, we can have this if we let go of this old shit, you know, let go. And it's the mind. The Three of Swords is, the Swords is the mind card. It's mental, it's air. So letting go of ruminating and old stuff, maybe of old relationships, it's keeping us from being in that healthy, sacred feminine, sacred masculine energy. So what are the old wounds, given that we're dealing with some Chiron energy right now as well? What are some old wounds that are getting in the way of us being in a healthy balance, that are just, it's over? And I know we can't just say like, I'm done with this and it's gone, but where do you see yourself spinning and stuff and not taking responsibility for it? Maybe where are you in victim consciousness and letting the old wound run the show when you could get more conscious about it? And I'm saying you, meaning us, we, you know, the collective. Where are we letting some of the old stories still, you know, get us? And you know, it's okay when we have triggers. It's okay when we get defensive. And I know I've talked about this recently, but how do we work with that? What do we do when that happens? Do we just let it ride and go, yep, it's that person, it's they did that again? Or do we go into it and go, what's the trigger? Why am I feeling this way? What's my part? What is the mirror that I'm looking at right now? So, and then how do we get a new perspective? You know, it's time to gain a new perspective after if we're still stuck in this energy, we need a new perspective, which is what I was just saying. Quit looking outwards, bring it in inside, bring it in. How do we yeah, take responsibility? And that's a 12, which turns into a 3, which is a 3. Okay. Yeah, we need to get a handle on our wounds and not keep reacting from the same old energies, the same old frequencies. Those need to go. And how do we get in there and release them? You know, Ho'oponopono prayer is an excellent practice. If you're not familiar with that, you can look that up. It's a very simple prayer. There's 4 lines. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And you just repeat that for whoever it is that maybe has brought pain or has caused the wound, or is a source of the wound. You know, I know that we all came in with some wounding that is just part of our journey, so we can't blame that on the other. We chose these lives, we chose our wounds, you know, because those are the lessons we wanted to learn when we came in. That's one way to look at that, and it helps us to really take responsibility and see things from a new perspective. You know, when we recognize we do have the power and we don't have to be at the mercy of this old energy anymore. Take some action here in a new perspective. And yeah, the Ho'oponopono. And you can really do that for yourself too. I think that's an excellent way, because we've all got some guilt and shame energies that are roaming around there. And when we do that real forgiveness for ourselves, it releases a lot of energy. So again, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. That's just saying sorry for whatever part you played in whatever the wounding was. You know, it takes two to tango. We come in here, it's an experience of relationship with whatever. So yeah, it's a very powerful practice. And that moves into the King of Swords. You know, once we do move through some of that and have a new perspective, then we gain clarity, we gain control of our minds. We're no longer at the whim of this kind of wounding energy. We're no longer at the whim of it. So yeah, we're going to be in strong and solid in our power, clear to move forward, clear to act from a healthier place, healthy mind, you know, basically. And yes, that's going to lead to us being really strong in our power, strong in that sacred feminine, sacred masculine energy. Really strong in our relationships, strong in ourselves. And then that leads to, ta-da, celebration, connection, healthy emotions, beautiful, the Trinity. It's gorgeous. Very clear. Simple reading today, not terribly mind-boggling, but yeah, where are you stuck in some old stuff? How can you turn it around and gain a new perspective and start looking at it differently, so it's not like running you? Because yeah, there's so much beauty here and balance, and the world is ours if we just, like, you know, are able to move through some of this stuff. And or maybe it's something that's just has moved through, and you do have that new perspective, and you do have that new clarity, and you do have that strength now, and you're in celebration. You know, maybe that's what's going on right now. Maybe this is all just happening right now. You know, in this energy, you're recognizing what is not triggering you anymore, and you have a new perspective. You're strong in your power, and you're able to, like, look at, there is no stress or tension here. Dude's just like, yeah, I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm collected, and I'm looking out at all that's available to me, all of the opportunities, all this beautiful adventure that awaits me, this beautiful new life that's coming, this beautiful new life that's just right there. And I'm just I'm getting ready. I'm chilling, deciding where I want to go, but it's all right here. I'm in balance. I'm strong. I'm confident. I love that. I've dropped the old wound. Yeah, I really like that. I've dropped this old stuff. I'm no longer acting from this place. I've got a new perspective. I'm seeing things differently. I'm seeing things clearly. I'm not in that shit anymore. I'm not in that old energy anymore. I'm clear and I'm confident and I'm ready to move forward, knowing that I'm not stuck in that old stuff anymore. I've got it all right now. I've got clarity and feeling great, and I'm strong in my power. Strong. And celebrating my victory. It's amazing. And I'm ready to celebrate with friends. Look at, there's friends. And it's the cups, it's emotions, it's the sacred feminine energy. It's, oh my gosh, everybody's like dancing. The feminine is dancing because we're in a whole new world now. We're in a whole new freaking world. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. How is this speaking to you? Is it resonating? What are you feeling? What do you feel like you've moved through? What are you done with? What's over? Or what might you still be like, still a little bit to do there. Let's go into our oracle cards here to see what, here's the cards we've chosen today. Here's the deck. So lovely. These images are gorgeous. So Um, okay, this one keeps wanting to say hello. We're going to look at that. Become a shapeshifter. I wonder what that means. What does that mean to you? Interesting. All right, we're going to look at that. Oh my gosh, my cards are not... Somehow, I like to keep them all in the same... I'll have to fix that later. Tarot cards can be upside down and different. Oracle cards should all be facing the same way in my world. So, let's see what the cards say to support us in this reading. Support us with all this amazing energy. Fresh starts. Fresh starts and clearings. Karmic clearings. Karmic clearings. Karmic clearings. Ancestral, personal, collective. Okay, all right, let's see what it says. Become a shapeshifter. Ta-ta. Okay. The Kitsune, Kitsune is a shapeshifter, a mythical fox that can take on human form. At this time, a shapeshifter is what you need to become. All too often, we restrict and limit ourselves by embracing rigid labels, definition, and ideas of who we are and who we are meant to be. From one moment to the next, you are always the person you are meant to be, but if you open yourself to growth, you can become more. Like the Kitsune, the more tails you have, the more powerful and wise you become. Well, that's gorgeous, because what I'm seeing is we restrict and limit ourselves by embracing rigid labels, definitions, and ideas of the feminine and masculine. That's how I'm kind of reading that, and what relationships are supposed to look like, given that that's kind of what's a theme for me. That's how I'm looking at that. How is that feeling for you? What rigid labels, definitions, and ideas of who you are and who you're meant to be, how's that getting in the way and restricting your growth and limiting your potential, your expansion, your elevation and consciousness, when we're like, I gotta be this, I gotta do this? And that's what kind of a theme in the past few, like we really talked about that last time. So how we show up and how we limit ourselves and judge ourselves and keep ourselves in these little boxes. And like, life is short. Let's let's get over ourselves, really. I mean, shoot people. Wash away your burdens. And that really kind of ties into that 3 of Swords that we were looking at. As you have moved through life, you have undoubtedly experienced moments that have inspired feelings of regret, remorse, shame, and guilt. There's that Ho'oponopono prayer we were just talking about. You have made promises you have not been able to keep. You have judged and blamed yourself and others. You have burdened yourself with feelings born of acts that cannot be undone, which still bind you to the past. It is time to forgive. Ho'oponopono. It is time to lie down in the healing waters and let them wash away your burdens so you can move forward with spirit cleansed. And that's, I really speaking to this energy that we're just like letting it go. Maybe we're carrying some burdens. We hurt our own hearts, so we're just carrying that guilt and shame, and that's getting in the way of this new perspective. So that's, wash away the burdens, let it go, get a new perspective, understand this is our human journey. It's part of the game. It's an adventure. Holding on to that old shit, beating up ourselves, self-judgment and criticism. That's the full moon in Virgo, that judgment and criticism. Virgo is excellent at beating themselves up and the mental spinning. So take advantage of this Virgo full moon to let that go. Any way that you've been beating yourself up, judging yourself, criticizing yourself, keeping yourself tied to the past, to some past situation or experience or relationship or behavior pattern or anything that's just not serving, recognize it, get a new perspective, have compassion for yourself. We're all just doing the best we can here, you know, and we learn as we go. Didn't come in with any books or, you know, no teachings. And I don't think most of us, our parents weren't that great at helping us because they weren't doing so great themselves. So we're learning as we go, and we're elevating consciously. So let's let it go. Let's let any way that we're beating ourselves up, let it go, and just commit to doing it different and better as we move forward with more consciousness. Let's not say better, because again, that's like a judgment or labels. So not better, just different, you know, in a higher consciousness with more love, heart-based, you know, always bring it back to the heart, and that really is supportive. I love this because, feelings of regret, remorse, shame, or guilt, judged, blamed myself and others. Yeah. I mean, that comes with relationship, right? You know, it's easy to look at the other, to blame the other, to judge the other and think it's them. If they were different, everything would be cool. It's just like, no. You know, we got to take responsibility for our path and for ourselves. So that's a really freaking important part of the sacred feminine, sacred masculine balance, union, harmony. You know, what's our part? What is our stuff because those relationships are mirrors for us. If there's something that's triggering you about that person or upsetting you, that's your work. That's where that's you, that's on you, and they're there to actually show you what part of yourself is still in need of a new perspective or some support, or you know, some love and clearing and healing. So that's what I got for us today, and I think that was lovely and fun and beautiful and supportive, and a lot here, I think, really supportive of the energies that are right now. And I'm seeing it through this lens of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine and union, harmony, balance, given that we're with this Venus-Mars conjunction right now. So these cards may have been speaking to you very differently, and that's the beauty of the tarot and oracle cards. We're coming from our own lens and from our own lived experience. So, you know, this card right now may be speaking to you very differently. If there's a different message here you're getting, trust that, you know, that because there's something that guided you here, obviously. So, and if what my interpretation was, you know, speaks to you, awesome, I'm thrilled. Or maybe it's just helping you to think and see some things differently. So, but yeah, that's the amazing part of these tarot cards. They're speaking to us, you know, individually and collectively, and there's a lot of, you know, all the symbolism, but there's different ways to interpret based on whatever. So I highly recommend getting some cards, getting some oracle cards and playing with them yourself, and getting to know the archetypal energies. And it's beautiful wisdom, and an excellent way to just really connect to our higher selves, connect to our guides, connect to whoever it is that supports you on your journey, or that you connect with, whatever frequencies. I tend to think it's all kind of our higher selves, but you know, we have a lot of fun different names for them. And but yeah, they're all just energies and frequencies out there, like the archangels. You know, they are their own energies for sure. They're also, because we're all one, of course they're part of us because we're all connected, but they are their own powerful energies and frequencies that are here to support us in our journey. So the cards are really great for helping to connect to them and then seeing what comes through. So thank you so much for being here. I'm just really, again, so grateful for your presence, because as I said earlier, this is what it's all about for me. I live for this. I live for it. Again, if you need any support with anything, I invite you to check out my website and check out, I have a lot of other videos that I've made previously about, you know, sacred sexuality, wounded feminine, sacred feminine, sacred masculine and feminine, intergenerational trauma, energy healing. You know, there's so much resentment, bitterness, a lot of the stuff that we have carried forward that we are clearing out right now. You know, there's a lot on how to move through that. There's a lot of grief around so much of that too that we've carried forward, and just our own lived experiences. so much grief, and I'm not talking about death. I'm talking, it's like non-death related grief, grief around maybe any kind of sexual abuse that we have dealt with, or you know, divorce, a loss of a career. There was a lot of loss around the COVID experience, so you know, grief related to that. So we tend to need support around those things, you know, and we don't just get to shove them under the rug. So again, I think last time I saw there's like 72 videos on my channel, so there's something in there for you if you're ready to, you know, explore that. And again, reach out. I offer energy and sound healing sessions, spiritual guidance, and one-on-one connection in that way. I have programs, a 12-week intensive program to really deep dive into all of this, into the heavier energies and patterns that we're carrying around, and bringing it up to the conscious so we can clear it out, and then determine how do we want to move forward. What are the energies we want to align with? What are the frequencies? What is the life we want to create for ourselves? Because we've been creating it just very unconsciously. So when we get conscious of it and know how we want to move forward, life changes drastically. Let me tell you, not kidding. So it's a very holistic program, body, mind, and spirit. It's because spirituality is very important to me. So of course that's reflected in the program, helping us to get a deeper connection to our own spirituality, Mind you, this has nothing to do with religion or what somebody else is telling you spirituality needs to look like. It's a very personal journey, and there's just some tools and reflection and such to move you through, to connect more fully with your own beautiful heart and what your own higher self, and what speaks to you and what's important to you, and what lights you up in that way. And that's what I mean by spiritual connection. I'm not going to tell you what your spirituality is. We all figure this out for ourselves, and that's kind of where religion has, I think, done a disservice. I don't mean that in a judgmental way, so I was choosing my words carefully. It's a place where we gave a lot of our power away to religions, and that was fine in a previous energy, in a previous timeline. That was what it was, but we have elevated beyond that now, and now we can be our own sovereign in our free will, deciding what it means for us. We don't need to connect to a church or a priest or somebody to tell us what it needs to look like, and how to talk to God or source or universe or whatever, how to talk to angels, if we even want to talk to angels, like that's our own personal experience. And so I'm all about that. And again, not to poo-poo that. It served a time and a place. It was what it was in the time, but it's just not really supporting us now at this place, at this time where we're at. So and then I have a 6-week program as well that really is all about the sacred feminine, and clearing out the wounded feminine, because that's a journey we kind of must go on. There's wounded feminine shit there, and a lot of it's unconscious, and until we bring it into our consciousness, we kind of still keep repeating those patterns, the resentment, the bitterness, the anger, the judgment and criticism, looking out, blaming others, and victim consciousness. There's a lot of just anger. There's a lot of anger because it's grief and fear and sadness. So so again, clearing that out, and then how do we want to move forward? What are the strong, healthy, beautiful, sacred feminine energies we want to start rocking out, and how do we do that? So a lot of tools, a lot of energy healing session each week with all of my programs. So we're really getting in there and working with the energy body. It's not about like, let's just do some mental stuff there. We're getting into the energy body and clearing out the energy that isn't serving. And so by the time you're done with these programs, you have a very different energy body, which means different physical body, different mind, different spiritual connection, different emotional connection. It's exquisite, really. So check out my website. And again, there's a lot of other tools on there, recommendations, books, resources, all sorts of stuff that will support you on your journey. So thank you again, my beautiful, beloved, sacred feminines, for being here. I'm just so thrilled. And anybody else who's showed up, if you're a sacred masculine, a gorgeous, 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 we're all in this together. And we're all rocking out both the energies, both the feminine and the masculine. So we each need to really connect with our sacred feminine and our sacred masculine energies within, to see where they're imbalanced, see where they need strengthening, see where we can support ourselves, and then we can start magnetizing and attracting those gorgeous external frequencies to really support our healthy body, mind, and spirit. When we get aligned, when we do that work, when we clear out those low vibe frequencies, then we start attracting the things we really want into our lives. It's just physics. It's really simple. If we're vibing at a low vibe, we're going to draw in low vibe shit. That's just what it is, you know. I didn't make the rules. That's just how it works. When we clear that out and start, you know, changing our frequency, our external world starts matching that. It's just, it has to do that. That's how it has to work, because those are the rules of the universe. So again, and I know it because I've gone through the journey, and I continue to go through the journey, you know. So anyway, I've been talking long enough. I love to talk. Thanks for being here again, and I love you, and I'm so grateful for you, and I wish you much love and joy and beauty and fun, lots of fun on your journey. And if you're not having fun, let's connect, and we'll get started in this process and get you there. Bye, everybody. I lost my little cursor. There it is.